Hello and welcome back everybody to FTB One with the T.A.C. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day or night wherever they are in the world. Let's jump right into it. So today I wanted to work on getting our ore processing up and running. Now we're starting to accumulate lots of different raw ores, especially of the materials that we don't currently have chickens for. And I'm thinking, here, let me actually get some icons on these backpacks we set up so that we know what is where. Go ahead and sort this. Hey, Ethan, how you doing, man? Good to see ya. But we haven't set up processing to duplicate the ores other than turning the silk touched ores into more raw. So I think we're gonna go the mechanism route because I was looking at the crusher spirit. So if we look at like raw iron, I was looking at the crusher spirit, which in some packs, the max tier spirit gets all the way to 1 to 8, and it doesn't show it here. It just shows 1 to 2. So I was thinking we're gonna go the mechanism route. Now we're not going to just do the small ones first of enrich or hydrogen to iron shards. We're going all the way from the start. We're going, or from the end, we are going to go for sulfuric acid into iron to make slurry, and to turn our slurry into clean iron slurry, which we will turn into iron crystals, inject those, and that is the processing we're going to get started. Ethan says, I'm all right. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. I'm happy I'm able to stream again. We went quite a while, a few days of me having issues getting the stream to work, but now that it's working, we can finally play again. So I'm really excited. I'm excited to have a good week, good solid week of streaming and put out that content. Now we're gonna need quite a few machines for this mechanism setup. So why don't we go through the process before we even make the machines to processing the slurries? Let's just get to making sulfuric acid. So if we look at sulfuric acid and favorite it here, it comes from water vapor and sulfur trioxide. Let's get water vapor going. All that is needed is a rotary condensator and water. So why don't we make a rotary condensator and get water vapor in the system? Go ahead and make a pattern for it here. We have everything else as a pattern already. Oh wait, whoa, those are inscribers. There we go. We'll make our rotary condensator. Oh, we already had a pattern for it. That is my bad. Let's take that out and make one of these. Oh, the pattern we have doesn't have the tank recipe that it wants. Why don't we make a new tank recipe? No, see, it already has it. I think what we're gonna have to do is find the other rotary condensator and pull it out of the system. I think is the best bet. Hopefully it doesn't take too long here. I kind of know tricks for finding items here. What I'm looking for is the yellow square, and hopefully I can find it pretty quick. Nope, looks like I missed it. Let's try going up. That's the chemical crystallizer. There is the rotary condensator. So let's put in this pattern, the one we just made, and see if it works with the system. Or if we have another issue at hand. Nope, that worked just fine. So I'm going to clean up this pattern. And we'll take our rotary condensator down to our wall of machines here. And what I want to see is what we can do with the config here. So there's no items necessary, just liquids and gases. And we're going from liquid to gas. So for fluids, we want to say input, output, back. And for gases, input, output, the back. Now I'm going to get a pattern provider. Or, you know what, we should probably just have water vapor being produced at all times. So let's actually grab a interface, put it here, as well as an export down here. And we're going to say water. So now this is getting water, turning it into water vapor. And I'm going to say that gases can be ejected out the top. And since it can auto eject them, what I'll do is run a cable like so. And tell it that gases eject out the top. Perfect. Now we already made chemical storage cells that can store this water vapor. And now that that is being produced, I'm going to take a little snooze. And we'll keep going down the line. So this is made in a chemical infuser. I like to work backwards, right? Instead of figuring out what the base items are and building up, I'm gonna just start from the top. Now let's make a pattern for a chemical infuser. Go ahead and set this up. And we'll go down to our wall. And let's see, we're only at 5 channels, so we have plenty of room here. I'm gonna put it here. Now what we'll do is look at what the current config is, which is output blue front, and I'm going to put that at the top. And we'll have 1 on the left, 2 on the right. Perfect. And we'll also set that up to be the same for gases. And we're not going to use patterns. We are just going to be producing sulfuric acid. So let's get 2 export buses. Here and here. With a bit of cable, gonna need an anchor. and a interface on the top. While we could set these up with patterns to be a bit cleaner, I find that for ore processing, I want my sulfuric acid all the time. So I don't think it's even worth setting it up to be any different. Well, let's put sulfur trioxide into this filter. And go ahead and favorite it, because it will be the next thing we work on. And we'll go ahead and put water vapor in this export bus. And I'm going to make sure that we have auto eject on for the gases. Okay. So the next step, and this should be 8 of 8 now. Perfect. The next step is sulfur trioxide, which is another chemical infuser with oxygen and sulfur dioxide. So let's get another chemical infuser. And get it set up. Gonna clean up my inventory space a little bit for the items we know we're gonna need. We've still got plenty of channels on our line here. So why don't we run it across? Oh, gonna need an anchor. We'll run it across our wall and preemptively get power running. So I'll need some pipes and a flux point. And the power is going to run the block above, like so. We'll go ahead and add our flux point, put it on the network, and set this to pull power from it, as well as give it a upgrade. Go ahead and refresh any settings on that and throw it in. So our new chemical infuser will go right here. And actually, for cleanliness sake, why don't we put it one block in so that we can do our 2 export buses and our interface at the bottom. A little bit of anchors and some cables. Now, I'm going to come into our configs, and I'm not even going to worry about the items this time. We're just going to say gases, and the bottom will be our output. Auto eject on. Let me make sure I didn't mess that up. Yeah, okay. And I don't want this. Okay, it's not dumping. We're good. So for sulfur trioxide, we need oxygen and sulfur dioxide. Let's put oxygen in one filter. And sulfur dioxide in another. And we'll change our favorite to be this one. And we'll make oxygen first because it's really easy. We just need a electrolytic separator to turn water into hydrogen and oxygen. So I'll go ahead and get a electrolytic separator. And we'll do all the upgrades here in a moment. for all these machines. Let's just finish the process chain first. Taking our electrolytic separator, we only need 2 connection points here, one being a interface and one being a export bus. And what I'm going to do is say fluids, it knows to input, we're good there. And gases, I want to... Delta says, hey, just finished the hike. Awesome, how was it, man? Gases, we're going to say output. Oh no, we have to do separate outputs. Darn. That's a bummer. We'll say output 1 out the back. And output 2 out the bottom. We'll add another interface here, making sure to add anchors so our cables don't connect. And wire it up. Oh, we forgot one area, folks. There we go. Let's set this export bus to be water. Water's coming in, and it's separating. Awesome. All of these machines are going to need upgrades eventually, but so far, so good. Now we need sulfur dioxide. This is a lot easier. It is just sulfur dust in a chemical oxidizer. So let's get a chemical oxidizer. Which is going to require a few more patterns here. Gonna hop on all the mods 8, but I'm not gonna stream right now. Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Have fun. We'll need a personal barrel and a pattern for barrels, as well as a dynamic tank. We'll go ahead and throw these patterns into our setup and get our chemical oxidizer. Hopefully. Oh, yep, just finished. Our chemical oxidizer, we'll go ahead and place down right here. And we're going to say items will be input from the... Let's see, how do we want to do this? Items will input from the side. And gases will auto-eject out the back. We'll place a interface and a export bus. And this is going to be sulfur dust. Now we need to produce our sulfur dust, which will probably just use the MEKANISM crusher. But I don't really want to use this crusher. I would kind of prefer that we had our own crusher that runs automated processes at all the time. So let's make a whole new crusher, which looks like we never set up a pattern for. We can do that now. And we'll put down our crusher. We're going to have to go to another row here because we're already 8 of 8 channels. Now, we could, now that I'm thinking about it, we could go another row, or I could just steal a channel from here. So why don't we do that? I'll go ahead and change the position of our anchors and take out this anchor and steal a couple channels for our crusher. Now, like I was saying, I want this one running at all times. So we're going to put an interface in the back and tell it that its items will be output out the back and input from the right with auto eject. Then we'll add a export bus. And there might be a few things we need to add to this export bus, so I'm going to give it some capacity and then speed. And we're going to say sulfur. Make sure it's in round robin mode. And then let's tier up the crusher with some tier installers. So I'm going to need some more advanced, some more ultimate, craft up some elite, and we already have the basic. So basic. Hopefully it makes an advanced here in a moment. I'm going to lower the speed of the output here all the way down. Everything else is working and is putting oxygen, sulfur dioxide. Awesome. Hopefully our tiers finish here for advanced, elite, and ultimate. Beautiful. And we should now be receiving sulfuric acid. Let's take a moment and upgrade all of our machines here. So I'm going to need energy. We'll start down at the bottom. So energy, 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 and we need one more set of energy. And then we need speed in all of these. And some muffles. Now, a few of these can take additional upgrades. Why don't we see which ones can? So that one has all that it wants. This one has all that it wants. That one's good. Good. One of these can take a fluid card, I thought, but I guess not. Looks like power is a bit of an issue. But there's just enough to keep it running. It just can't run at maximum speed, and that's okay. So our sulfuric acid is now being produced. An easy way we could get more power to these machines would be to take a few more pipes or points and put them among the system. I think what I'm going to do is just add one more flux point down at this end and give this a upgrade. Worst case scenario, we'll switch to lasers, but hopefully That solves the power situation. Perfect. All right. So we should have a pretty steady stream of sulfuric acid pouring in, which means we can start the actual ore processing. Now, what I'm going to do for that is set up another line of cables. And this will be our ore processing line. So let's look at every machine used, for instance, with iron. So we start in a chemical dissolution chamber with sulfuric acid and iron. And that makes our slurry. So I'm going to get a couple things here, because there's quite a few ores we need to add to this processing line. I'm thinking the best method, instead of an export bus, will instead be, or no, maybe that would. Sorry, I'm just thinking, folks. You know what? We will just do an export bus. Go ahead and get 2 of these. Put down a cable here and go export, export. And we'll need a chemical dissolution chamber. Which I am not in my pattern screen. There we go. Go ahead and throw that in there. And normally this is really hard to craft, but we've already progressed MEKANISM so that we can make this. So our chemical dissolution chamber is going to need sulfuric acid, which we'll go ahead and put that items. Let's clean this up. Extra yellow will be from the left. And our gases will be input from the back, which works, and auto eject out the right. So here we'll set up our sulfuric acid. Which should fill this up. And I realized my item config actually needs to be red. Now, we'll go ahead and have this start the process so we can see everything going in line here. So we'll add raw iron as the main thing to process. So we're getting our dirty iron slurry, which if we look at the slurry, the next step is to wash it in a chemical washer with water and the slurry. So let's make a chemical washer. And get it set up so that water gets added to it. The most bang for your buck Oh, yeah, I'm getting there. We'll place it here and it will automatically fill with the slurry. We'll add water to be imported, which will get it washing. And clean iron slurry, we now need a chemical crystallizer. Perfect. And we'll just put that down right next to it. It should automatically pump in and should give us iron crystals. Perfect. Now these crystals are going to need hydrogen chloride and inside of a chemical injecting factory. So let's make a chemical injection chamber. Put the patterns in our molecular assemblers. And we'll need to make the right hydrogen for this machine. Something I'm going to do is set the items to auto eject out the right. Perfect. And hydrogen chloride, we're going to need chlorine and hydrogen in a chemical infuser. Now chlorine we get from electrolytically separating brine. Now to get our brine, I'm going to change our lithium setup now that we have plenty of lithium. We don't need any more for a while. And take a ultimate mechanical pipe and route it over to here and shut off, excuse me, the brine going into our thermal evaporation block. As well as I'm going to turn off this heater and connect these pipes. So now that we're receiving brine, we'll need to set up among our machines an electrolytic separator of our brine. Now, a way we could do this is to take some dense cable and have it pull down to this line. Oh gosh, we are messing up everywhere, folks. There we go. Which gives us some more channels right here, which is perfect for us to put a export bus, a couple cables, and a interface. We'll get another electrolytic separator. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think we need multiple outputs. So I'm going to draw power from this point Give me just a second. Oh, not what I was trying to do. draw power from here so that I can break this pipe. And add another cable and another interface. Place our electrolytic separator and say that the fluids will input from the back, which is perfect. And the gases will be output out the right and the top. Auto eject on. Let's go ahead and give this brine. And it's producing sodium and chlorine. Now we needed hydrogen chloride. Hydrogen chloride, sorry. So let's get a chemical infuser with hydrogen and chlorine coming into it. There we go. Gonna be lots of upgrades we need to put down. But so far we're okay. Let's see, 26 channels, 32 channels. Okay. So we've got a few more channels to work with. We might actually need one more P2P channel here. I'll find out for sure. But I should be able to put this here. And put a bit more cable. And we'll need a export bus in the back and the bottom, and say gases ooh, I can do input output with just 1 point. Can I input both hydrogen and chlorine with one export bus? Let's find out. So we're going to need hydrogen and chlorine. Oh, we can. Awesome. So we don't even need that export bus. We can actually just make this the interface and say bottom output. Giving us hydrogen chlorine, which needs to be exported into our chemical injection chamber. Hydrogen chloride. Perfect. Now this is going to make us iron shards, which need to be purified with oxygen. So let's get a purification chamber. Place it down right here. Make sure this is set to eject its items into the next machine. And we still have some channels. We still got some, guys. Let's put another export bus for oxygen. Oh, we're running out of channels. But this is going to make us iron clumps, which now we just crush, enrich, and enrich, right? Crush, enrich, and then smelt. Okay. So let's get a crusher. Oh, you know what? We have a crusher right here. Why don't I... I'm tempted. I'm tempted. No, we'll make a crusher on its own. Right here, and tell this to auto eject, and then an enrichment chamber. Let's see if this works. Okay, it is not ejecting. Blue right. Oh, you know what? I need to say input left. And we want to output top or right. We'll go right. Output right. Ah, no, you know what? I really want this to be all within the confined space. So we'll just put a smelting energized smelter above it here. And have it... Oh, ooh, that's bad. That's bad. I just broke our whole system when I did that. Let's put a cable anchor, then a cable and a interface, and tell this to auto eject out the back. It'll need some power. And it's running. And there is our ore processing in this triangle all set up. We have quite a few more machines to put upgrades into. Why don't we get that done? As well as get some tier installers for all the machines that can take them. So like this smelting factory, this crusher. I don't know if a purification chamber can. An injection chamber can't. Crystallizer can't. Nope, nope. Okay, all the upgrades are done. Now, or the tiers, I should say. Now we'll do the upgrades. So I'm going to craft us a bunch of speed and a bunch of energy. And I'll get the muffling in now. Just to make things quieter. I don't think we needed any more all these machines are done. Okay, so these are done. This is just the only row. Let's get some energy. And I'm hoping that a couple of these can use like the gas upgrade to make them use less fluids and gases and whatnot. Why don't we take a look here? So this one can use the gas upgrade. And I don't think we've made any. Can any others use the gas upgrade? Aha! The injection chamber can. And the purification chamber can. Then we'll just put speed in these. And we are up and running, folks. Still a bit of power issues on some of these, which I'm going to resolve by just putting some more points. Like, for instance, behind. That should help get power to all these machines. Looks like we're good and running. So let's add some more ores to be processed, such as copper and gold, osmium, tin, lead, silver, and I'm looking for... was looking for others, but we'll do uranium, I guess. I could swear nickel in them could... oh, there's zinc. Ah, and there's nickel. I'm gonna do that instead of uranium. All these should have, yeah, dissolving. This is going to take a long time to eventually catch up because of our chemical injection chamber, which I thought the chemical injection chamber could be tiered up. Yeah, the injecting factory. So why don't I get our tier installers back? There we go. That's where the hang up is. And it's fully upgraded as best as it can be. I'm going to put it on auto sort because it's still really slow because it doesn't have the hydrogen chloride, which we are producing here. Or no, we are producing here. Ah, we forgot to upgrade this machine, guys. With speed, energy, and now we're cooking. Now we're just short chlorine, which is being produced in our electrolytic separator, which needs some energy and speed. There we go. That should get a bunch of these machines up and running. Still have some more power issues, simply because our pipes can't pump out enough energy from a single point. So why don't I get some more ultimate? And we'll add a point here to this whole line. I'm not going to use this. We'll give this its own point. And see if it gets enough power. Nope, still not enough coming in. One more should do it though, I'm thinking. Or you know what? This could be a lot simpler if we just take our point and directly attach it to this machine and put our upgrades there. Yeah, it looks like it needs 2 points to truly keep up with the other machines. But this should be enough, I'm hoping. Perfect. Everyone's good on power. Everyone's upgraded. We're cooking. We're getting all the hydrogen chloride and oxygen that we need. Where were we making oxygen again? Ah, here it is. Awesome. And all of the chemicals we're doing should just be using the ME system, which is great. I am, now that I think about it, going to get a overflow destruction card and some more equal distribution. And we'll go ahead and take this cell into our cell workbench and give it overflow and equal distribution. Then I'll pump this back in. Perfect. Why don't we add that to this card as well? So equal and overflow. Grab this card, cell workbench. This means it will evenly divide the storage, the 5 types, among all available bytes, and will just delete anything that comes in over that byte limit. Beautiful. There is our ore processing, guys. How exciting is that? Okay, everything's running. Perfect. It's all just down to how fast these machines run, which is good enough. And would you look at that? 29 of 32, 32 of 32. Even though we mixed in integrated dynamics, industrial foregoing, our wall of tech has worked, and we have room for the next wall too, which is great. She's a beaut, Clark. Gosh, I'm really happy about that. Something I would like to do is to still be producing lithium, which I might just set up another thermal evaporation tower, one to be turned to lithium, one to be turned to brine, which wouldn't be too hard to get set up, honestly. Curious on our power situation. We're up to If you account for spikes, about 200,000 FE a tick is what the base is draining. Enchantment libraries up and running, still good. They're all just maxed on trades right now. Let's see our fortune. It's up to 12,000, which is great. Which I can't remember if we had a villager that we put into auto trade. Oh, here's a problem. He got more books than emeralds. Our emerald is not keeping up. I'm gonna need to take out that. And then make sure all of these are set for emeralds. Oh, whoa, this guy is not cured. Whoa. Why did we lose our cures on these guys? $61? We had these trade. Did my hat? Nope, I'm not wearing the villager trade hat. Yeah, whoa, we have been burning emeralds. This guy's set up right. I guess we need to cure these dudes again. Like, just to check. Oh, you know what? I think it might be. Honestly. I think it's because we're using villagers in the mob farm. Let's just use pigs. Let me make sure all of these are okay. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. Let's re-cure these guys. So that we don't lose all of our materials. Gosh, that was probably burning through emeralds. Still got 8.9 million though. I have an apotheosis boss in my base and I can't kill him. You're gonna have to try to lure him out. Probably your best bet. But ladies and gentlemen, there is our ore processing all set up, all running. It's gonna take a while to get through the amount of ores we have, and I mean a while. If you enjoyed, consider leaving a like on the video. And if you don't want to miss any of the future streams, be sure to subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one, but for now, my friends, bye-bye.